Welcome back to Blue Collar Speed and Repair and our 59 Apache. We've been doing a bunch of work to this thing and it's come a long way. Last video we patina mashed our doors and they turned out actually way better than I anticipated. They look really good. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out after this video, of course. And while you're there, hit subscribe. In the interest of forward progress, I want to start working on interior. My goal is all black. So we got a lot of work to do. Let's get to it. So as far as outside work goes, I want to do cab corners. I don't have them yet. So again, in interest of forward movement, we're going to move to the interior and get some work done. I want to get like column in, brakes finalized, steering finalized, that kind of stuff. And again, the goal I think inside is all black. Exterior, I want to leave kind of rat rodish. You know, it's going to have rust. We're just going to clean this up. We're going to clear coat it, keep all the patina. Inside, I want it to be kind of clean, or at least cleaner. For instance, there are a couple rust holes up in the top of the cab. I'm not fixing those. I'm not worried about it. We're going to clean that. We're going to spray it black. It's going to be hidden by visors. I don't really care. Same with all the knobs and all that stuff. I'm not going to replace anything new unless I absolutely have to. The glove box latch, the handles and window crank and door handles off of the other doors. If we make those work, we're just going to make them work here. We're not going to spend money where we don't have to. We're just trying to dress it up a little bit. The goal is if we can get steering working, brakes working, all that stuff. I know we had it all working before, but finalized and in working order again, so we can actually get this thing on the road, which who knows how long that's been. Again, it's come a long way. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, go check them out. This thing was close to the end of life and we brought it back. Anyway, I'm doing a lot of yakking and jabbering. I think first step is we're going to start cleaning up this kind of back section of the floor. It's got some rust scale and kind of nastiness to it. There's a rubber plug from the old fuel line that's got to come out. The wire's got to come out for the fuel sending unit. That's where the jack used to be. That's coming out. We're going to clean all this stuff up and then I'm going to spray it all down with like a rust treatment. I don't know how far carpet is going to go back. And then, of course, again, there'll be seats here, so it's not the end of the world. But I want to stop this rust from getting any worse if we can. All right, Boss Lady has graciously offered to wire wheel, and I'm going to let her because I don't feel like it. It sucks. So we're going to wire wheel just the scale off of it. We're not going to go down to bare metal, nothing like that. Just get all the roughness off if we can, and then we're going to hose it all down with, like I said, some rust encapsulator stuff. And hopefully that will stop it from getting any worse. And then we can move on to the other stuff. While she does that, I'll probably get the wire out of the way, these rubber plugs out of the way, see if I can get that bracket. You ready?
Yeah.
You want some earmuffs?
Sure.
All right.
That's some blood. Last time I wire wheeled my hand.
You what?
I said last time I did this, I wire wheeled my hand.
I said, brother, you don't do that.
Me too. I think they're in the drawer though.
Do you want gloves? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll watch. Okay, got all this wire wheel down, knocked all the big stuff loose. Again, we're not too concerned with how it looks. We're just trying to make it a little bit nicer. She actually went above and beyond and did the back of the cab, which I didn't really mean to do. I was just going to sand that, but that's all right. Hit the kind of firewall just a little bit, just knock the loose stuff off. So from here, first of all, tell her what a good job she did. Rust fix. It's supposed to stop rust on contact. Sandable and paintable for smooth finish. Applies clear, turns rusted surfaces black.
Sound like an infomercial.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this stuff works. I don't know how well it works. I don't know if it works. I've always just used it, and I always use it in applications like this where it's under seat or under carpet, and then forget about it. So I don't know if it actually works, but we're going to use it. Hose this stuff down. I think it's several light coats, and then let it dry. And I don't remember how long it takes to dry, but it's already late in the day. So we're going to hose this down. Catch up with you guys in the morning. Good morning. It's paint day, hopefully. Goal is, this is not going to be a fancy paint job. This is just going to be essentially a scuff and shoot. I would be fine with just scuffing all this and hitting it with clear like we're doing on the outside anyway. But since we have new floors, new steps, and new doors, it's obviously not going to match very well. If this was the original door, I probably would have just cleared everything and been done with it. Remember, the floor is going to be covered in carpet, at least the part that you'll see. So the goal is just to make it a uniform color. And we're going with black, of course. Outside, again, I want to keep kind of ratty. Inside, I want to be kind of clean and nice and comfortable for when you're driving around, right? So the hard part about all this is we've got to take all these little knobs and all that stuff apart. Unfortunately, though, none of them move. So, like, these are vents for the kick panels. Those cables don't move at all. I don't know if the cables themselves are locked up. I don't know if the vents are locked up. Either way, those cables are probably getting replaced. So I'm going to end up just cutting those out. The rest of this stuff, one's a throttle, one's a choke, I believe.
This is the...
Okay, so that one's a choke. Far left is headlights. I believe this was windshield wipers. And then this one is throttle, to raise throttle when it's cold. None of those move. So I think this is going to be a fight to the finish, but we're going to see what happens. Gun rack's going to have to come out for now. I think we're taking the glass out. Doors are coming back off. She already skipped ahead and did the visor. Headliner's coming out. We're blowing this thing apart. It's going to be interesting to see how much of this stuff actually breaks loose. We'll start with pulling the gun rack out. We'll probably just razor blade this seal. See about taking the rear glass out. The front glass is all fogged at the bottom, so I did plan on replacing that. If we can save the rear glass, save some money, that'd be great. This gun rack's probably going to be modified anyway. I do want to leave it in here, but the seats hit it. So I might have to straighten this bend out and re-drill a hole to kick it back just a hair.
Yay.
2 for 2?
Yep. So far, so good. Your turn. I'm gonna grab a razor knife real quick.
Well, that's going surprisingly well. Off to a good start. Should be able to go middle of the seal here.
Okay. My line's crooked.
That's all right.
It's like a curvy road at this point. I'm not getting as deep as I need to get there.
Yeah, it'll probably take a couple passes. And I think I'm just blocking this camera completely. was not a good place to put it.
Keep smacking my head on a battery. You're so strong. I'm not.
But you're not even in the same line.
Oh, I've got like 3 lines going at this point.
I'm pretty sure they make a special tool for this. Obviously you don't have one, but I'm pretty sure they do. Honestly, if you can get the bottom and that side, we should be able to slip it out of the top.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying to do. Ouch.
At least the windshield's bigger. How to spend half the day removing a window. You just gonna giggle about every little spot or what?
You know, if I don't laugh at this point with all the little tiny pieces coming. Oh. Okay. Sure. It doesn't look like anything. It's just stuck in the seal up here. There we go.
I was a little worried considering all the surface rust along the bottom. The actual window frame itself is in pretty good shape. We'll clean all this up, of course, scuff it, sand it. The plan is inside the lip is going to get the paint. Outside's going to get the clear coat before we put glass back in. Same with the windshield. So, you just going for it? All right, headliner coming out. Okay, not sure what we're doing about a headliner just yet. Might do something a little fancy, we don't know yet. Popping the dome light out real quick, and then we're gonna get onto this windshield. Couple screws around the edges. I think the center's clipped in, I'm not sure exactly. Get that inner trim out, and I believe this one we gotta cut the outside of the seal so we can push the glass out that way. So loud.
Can't see nothing.
We might just have to tape that up.
Okay.
Or we might be able to pop the socket out of the lens.
The lens survived.
Yeah? Yeah, so more of the same. It's a little crusty, but not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. All right, I'm going to drill this screw out since it didn't want to come out. We'll get this trim piece off, and then we'll start working on getting the dash stuff apart. All right, continuing with getting the rest of the dash out, or dash apart. Little plug for the radio deletes already popped out, as well as the center piece. I don't even know if I'm going to put a radio in this, if I'm being honest. There's not really a good place for speakers unless you do like the aftermarket headliner thing, which I think those are kind of ugly. We could probably put something down here pretty easily, a small speaker. If we wanted to delete the vents, we could probably do something there. I don't know if I'm that concerned with it. There's also plenty of room up under the dash, but we will decide that later.
Yeah, I was thinking, honestly, corners, because...
Yeah, so like the C10 though, it has an inner panel and an outer panel. This is the outer panel. So I can't attach without running screws through the back of the cab.
I see.
I could attach here, I could attach here, but I can't attach on that side easily. So I don't know. We probably have enough room. We could always do some little boxes under the seat or something if we wanted to. Or realistically, we don't have a gas tank behind the seat. We could just do like 6x9 boxes and then some little 5 inches or whatever in the front. Basically the same that's in my other C10. So, next kind of trick here is I'm not sure how these come off. They're completely locked up. These should be a cable and they don't move. And clearly the little, whatever you call it,
bezel,
whatever you want to call it, behind it unscrews. So I'm not sure how the knob itself comes off. I doubt it just twists. Maybe it does. It doesn't seem to be doing anything.
This choke one has a nut behind it.
The what?
The choke has a nut behind it.
Does it?
Yeah. I don't know if it does.
Maybe. Maybe we can do it that way. I thought that was part of the cable though.
I don't know.
Let's try that. You remember where this stuff went? Not that it really
I
went.
took pictures and sent them to you.
Okay. Something just happened.
Hey, it's moving.
Alright, well I got a nut off, now what? Okay, well apparently that works. I thought this piece screwed in to that and then that was part of the cable, but apparently not. Okay.
Only 3 more to go.
Yep. Well, that one's a wiper switch though, so that one is going to be different.
The headlight switch is probably going to be different too, right? Ooh, that's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's over there.
Headlight switch works the way I thought these did. You take the knob off and then you take the bezel off. Problem is, headlight switch is locked up too, so I'm not sure what's happening there.
Okay.
Alright, so for the windshield wiper, the knob has a tiny little set screw in it. And then this bezel should come off. Which is the way I thought the other ones worked. I don't know if we're doing any upgrading on our wipers because these are vacuum currently. Probably upgrade those to electric. So this switch might change. And then we'll tuck it back there out of the way. This one's going to get the same screw treatment, or nut rather. This one had a lock washer. I don't think that one did. Alright, that leaves headlight switch. Yeah! Which doesn't move at all. Oh, okay. Well, knob came off.
Good job.
Alright. Now, can I take this out?
When you turned that, the whole assembly in the back turned.
Yep. There we go. Oh, that might be to the dome light. Probably shouldn't yank on that too hard. There's one fuse right there. There's one fuse in the whole truck. We're not using this anyway. We'll be doing a updated like blade style fuse harness. So, all right, a couple screws in here, and I think we're going to pull the pedals too, and glove box, which should just be a few screws. We'll be ready to go.
Get to work.
Got the interior of the cab here completely torn apart. Everything's out of it. Went ahead and pulled the doors back off. It's time to actually start prepping for paint. We're not doing anything crazy here. We're not going down to metal. We're nothing like that. We're not doing any kind of body work at all. Just like I said, a scuff and shoot. So DA 320, go over all the big surfaces. Anywhere I can get it, I'm going to use it. And then just a green Scotch-Brite to get into kind of all the smaller areas. And just prep it for a fresh coat of paint. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, we're not making a show truck. As far as doors go, they're sitting over here. I think the goal is, I originally intended to wrap the blue paint around the edge and didn't, basically forgot, which is fine. Most of this will be covered by an actual door seal anyway, or at least mostly covered. So I think we're just going to tape this line. Everything else will be black. The tricky part will be, I don't know how well this will show, this inside edge. Part of that will be covered by a belt molding, but I don't know how much. So I need to take this off really good and try to spray this inside edge if I can, so it kind of blends in with everything else. As far as the inner panels go, I thought I was reusing these. This one we could probably clean up and reuse. It's a little rough. The other one on the passenger door has a big rust hole in it, and I didn't realize that. So I do have a set of these coming. It's not the end of the world. We'll have to deal with that a little later. Trim for the dash, glove box, kick panels. This is a piece of trim that goes around our window on the inside. I have to pull the other one off still, but so I think sand and scuff, sand and scuff, sand and scuff. Try to get all this stuff laid out in a way I can spray it, as well as, I don't know if you can see it back there, the seat frame. I want to get that sprayed as well. Then we can finally get some paint on this thing. Also got to do a big cleanup. I've made a gigantic mess already today. All right, let me get to it. I think we're ready to start painting. Everything that needs to be sanded and scuffed is sanded and scuffed. Everything's taped off and ready to go. All the small pieces, doors, all that good stuff. Of course, inside the cab. Originally, I had planned on doing the inside of the cab in satin black, like we did the firewall on the underside of the cab. Boss lady and I were talking about it. Ultimately decided that a gloss black on the interior would not only probably look better, it'd be easier to clean up and wipe off and stuff like that. So we're gonna go with gloss black on the interior instead of the satin. And we're actually gonna go with tractor paint for a couple different reasons. A, it's quite a bit cheaper. There's apparently a helicopter flying overhead. I'm sorry. There's always background noises here. I don't know why. It's quite a bit cheaper. It's semi self-leveling, which we'll talk about. It's also being farm and implement paint, more resistant to like scratches and scuffs and nicks and stuff like that. This stuff can be rolled on or brushed on or sprayed on. We're going to spray it. I did a little bit of a test panel here. I just hit this with a wire brush. It's dusty, but hit it with a wire wheel and just sprayed it quick. Just kind of testing, see how it went. Went pretty good. You can mix up to 15% reducer. I think the can says mineral spirits. A lot of people online were saying use acetone, which is what I did. This stuff does not have an activator or reducer or anything like that in it. Again, I know I'm a broken record, not a professional painter in any way. This is just what I read online. A lot of people said use acetone, which is what I did. But it dries extremely slow because it doesn't have an activator or a hardener in it. And because the paint is thicker, as it dries and the solvent works its way out of it, it kind of spreads and self-levels, is my understanding. I've not actually used this stuff before, but we're going to try it. I mixed 8-to-1, so I think up to 15%. 8-to-1 is 12.5% if I do my math correctly. I'm going to mix up a couple cans. This is a 1.5 spray nozzle HVLP. And we're just going to hose all this stuff down and hopefully do it all in one coat. Like I said, it kind of goes on thick. But if we do miss a spot, since you can brush or roll it on, we should be able to touch up pretty easily, I think. Again, if we miss something. So, mix and spray. Here we go. I just used this yesterday, so it should be already mixed. Shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Shouldn't be chunking up on the bottom or anything. The hard part is, like I said, it's pretty thick, so it's difficult to pour. Kind of can get messy quickly. Of course, I don't have the boss out here to help me right now, so doing it by myself. 8-to-1. We'll see how close we can get to that 8 line. Should be right there. I was not smart enough to put gloves on, even though they're sitting right behind me. Let me do that real quick. And now that I've wiped that off, I guess I should pour the second cup. Dang it. Actually over our 8 just a little bit. Should be a little better, even though I can't see it that well. Alright, I'm making a mess. I shouldn't be allowed to touch this stuff. This is just acetone, it's just in a smaller container than the big bottle. A little easier to control. Something like that. Alright, because this paint is so thick, I'm going to mix this up really, really good. Because right now the acetone is just kind of sitting on the top of it. Okay, all mixed up, gun's full, compressor's all filled, ready to go. I think we're set. All that's left now is to actually spray it. It is worth noting, because this is a thicker paint and it's a enamel, I do believe. It sprays a little blotchy, and again, because of that self-leveling aspect, it smooths itself out. But when you first spray it on it, it's a little scary looking because it looks terrible. So hopefully this all works out good. As long as we can keep it from running, I think it'll turn out okay. I think we're going to try to work our way from one side to the other. Probably going to sit in here, do the roof as best I can, down the 8 pillars, down the back, dash, back of the cab, and then probably go like center of the floor out on either side. All right, pick me up.
Oh, it's black. Where do we suppose the light is?
All right. I know because of light, it's hard to see. Turned out pretty good. The problem with this stuff is, like I said, it takes forever to dry. I think it's dry to the touch in 1 to 2 hours, and to 2 to 4 hours. Remember?
I don't know. I can look.
I think it's dry to the touch in a couple hours, and the handle and not until 4 to 8 hours. So, and then recoat, you can't do until after 24. That's why I was trying to get this done in one shot. But again, if there is some small spots we missed, we can always go back with a brush. Like I said about the self-leveling, most of this has kind of done it already. Yeah, I guess I didn't really show it too well, but it would go on kind of blotchy, and it's already, like I said, it's smoothing out. Ignore the little bumps and stuff. I didn't clean this as well as it should have been. Again, this was just to get it all one uniform color. We weren't going after showroom or none of that stuff, just making it one color and nice. So, gonna clean the gun real quick. It's all foggy in here. We're gonna get the heck out of here, and we will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's way late in the day. It's actually 5 days since we painted, I think. And most of the day is gone because that's the way our lives work. Everything's painted. We've been kind of looking over everything. Everything turned out really good. There are some speckles and stuff in it. Again, this is out here in the shop. We didn't wet the floor. I don't have a paint booth, nothing like that. This is just making everything a uniform color, not perfect. As far as coverage, I guess we'll start in the cab. Everything in here turned out really good. Everything that needs to be covered, I think, is covered. There are a couple little minor spots kind of back in here. I don't remember exactly where they are, but whatever. I decided to go ahead and paint the entire floor because I don't know where we're going to end up doing carpet exactly. I don't know if we're just doing to the front of the seats, if we're going under the seats, if we're going all the way back, what we're doing. We haven't really thought that far ahead yet. Door jambs all turned out pretty good. There was a couple spots, I think, on the other side. Like here, where my tape lifted. So I'll have to sand that down, no big deal. And then that line of the black, the outside of that will all get clear coat anyway. But we'll make that a little better, more uniform line. The other pieces that are outside of the cab is where I ran into a little bit of an issue. Not really an issue, just missed a couple spots. These are the trim pieces that go around the inside of the windows, up top there. Like this one, for instance, I didn't get it around the edge very well. Not a big deal. And then
Sorry.
the very top edge of the glove box door I didn't get. I also, without even thinking about it, I didn't paint the inside of the glove box at all anyway. Again, remember this stuff is brushable or paintable. We sprayed it because it was easier. So we can go back with a brush and just kind of brush what we need to brush. So from here, we can actually start doing kind of some final installation stuff. Steering was all mocked up before. We can actually, I have a different column for it that's shorter, should fit better. She's struggling with pedal pads.
That's you.
Yeah, have a shorter column, should fit better. We can get that in. I have a steering wheel for it. We can hang the pedals back in it. Put the seat frame in it, set the seats in it. See what this interior is gonna look like, at least mostly. So where did we start? It's late in the day. We've already been working. Where did we decide? Oh my God.
I think we decided steering.
Pedal bracket.
Oh, we doing that
Get the pedal bracket in. We can mount the booster and master cylinder back in, column, pedals, seat, doors. Something like that. All right, pedal bracket in. Okay, start with our bracket. I remember how all this stuff goes. It's been a little while. Try not to scratch everything up. At least the dash, that's the only part that really matters. Now I can't reach my bolts. All right. Should be able to start it on those two, and then that's right there next to you. All right, the bracket is all installed as far as the pedal bracket. Before we hang the pedals in, I thought it might be easier to get the column in place. This is a 28-inch, I believe it's just a Summit brand. Wasn't that expensive. This is set up for a key in the dash, so no key. I believe all it has is turn signal switch and a tilt. That's like it. Nothing special. It was cheaper that way. We did paint this with the satin black, like we did the firewall and underside of the cap. When we actually painted that, I painted this at the same time. Originally, I was going to paint the inside of the cab with the satin. We opted for the gloss. Hopefully, this doesn't clash. I really don't want to take it back apart again. So from here, I think we're going to put this together outside of the pickup. We got a joint there, our actual steering shaft, and then the joint that goes onto the box itself, which we're missing. Why are we missing one? I thought we had them all. What happened?
I thought you lost one. You were gonna figure something else out.
Perfect. Okay, well, we'll get to that. All right.
I think you lost it during a burnout.
Maybe. All right, before we go actually installing this, we actually got this mobile and during the burnout. These two studs that stick out were hitting the exhaust pipe. I thought about just bashing the exhaust pipe in, but realistically, if you notice how much this stud actually sticks out of here. So I think what I'm just gonna do is cut a 1/4 inch off the backside, because we obviously don't need all this sticking out. Another thing I want to do is I'm going to mark the center of where these go in, and then I'm going to drill in to both the my words are not working like usual, into the shaft and into the column. There's already a notch on the box itself, but just a little extra. I don't want to rely on just the set screws to hold everything in place. If the set screw goes into a divot, say, even if it comes a little bit loose, it can't slide out. Is kind of my mindset, and then I'm going to Loctite all of this stuff. So I think we have some transfer punches. So if we take where that's at, and the way I mocked this up before, I don't remember if I explained it very well. Essentially, I mocked this up so that if you look closely, it's kind of dark, but like here, the end of the shaft goes right to the edge of the joint. Same with the column, same with this end. So as long as we mark everything there and set it up, and we'll probably set this entire thing up outside the pickup, and then just slide it all in as one unit. Then we got some punches. So these are called transfer punches, and they're a bunch of different sizes, but you find the one that fits your hole, and then it gives you a center point. So that one's a little big. And that should be it right there. Or was it that one? No. So this essentially will fit into our threaded hole and line up. And then when we do that, that gives us exactly the center of that hole. Line this back up. Oop, don't hit the table. That one there. That one there. That one.
I'm learning something today because I wasn't out here when you set this up.
Were you not? I don't remember.
I was working.
Okay. Okay. All our spots marked. We'll just drill a little bit of a hole. Again, that'll give us something for the set screw to actually set into. Should hold it nice and tight that way.
And then you just have to trim 2 of them.
And then I gotta trim 2 of them. Be back in a second. All right, skip ahead a little bit. Went ahead and got this one done. This is the one I had to shorten. Shorten that one better than I shortened that one somehow, but whatever. So this is kind of what it looks like. I just kind of drilled into the middle just a little bit. That'll give that set screw something to kind of bite into. I just don't want the steering coming apart, obviously, right? Steering coming apart while you're driving on the road is probably not a good thing, I imagine. Little extra step here, adding some Loctite. If you've never used these like gel thread locker deals, highly recommend it. Pretty good stuff. Way easier than dripping it on the ground and all that stuff.
And they last a while.
Yeah, they last a lot longer than those little tubes.
Probably because you're not dripping it all over the ground.
Probably. Okay. Should line up to the end. And then they have these lock nuts too. And that should be nice and strong. Disclaimer, I'm pretty sure when you order these, they say off-road use only. So use at your own discretion.
Starting to think we don't use anything for its intended purpose.
Generally not, but that's all right. I don't think most hot rod guys are that way. Kind of whatever works. I mean, that's how hot rodding started, right? Mm-hmm. It was taking something that didn't belong on whatever vehicle you had and made it work to improve.
Modifications, just like you have?
Yeah, either speed or performance. Okay. That's really how hot rodding got its start. and scour junkyards and airplane junkyards after the war. After World War II, they go through airplane junkyards and get parts and pieces in order to put them on their vehicles and make them handle better or go faster or whatever. All right. Now it doesn't match the rest, but I did find a bolt and a nut to go onto our box. Hopefully that doesn't stick out too far and cause an issue. If it does, we'll have to grind that one down as well. Let's see if I have some rubber strip to go in the firewall, and then we'll get this thing installed. And I have this channel stuff. We use this around the doghouse cover, or basically the hood of the buck. Originally, when we mocked up the steering column, I just did a 2-inch hole saw, which this is 2-inch and it barely fit. When we did the cab work and put that panel in, I increased that to about 2.5, so we have a 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So I'm gonna try, I don't know if this is gonna work and go tight enough, but essentially try to put it around that hole and give it something to seal to, essentially. So I'm gonna play with that for a minute, see if it works. I might have to trim it this way a little bit. I don't know if that's gonna work though, being that that's where it bites, but let's see if we can even get this on there, and then we'll slide that column in. I got that rubber strip in I was talking about. It's not the prettiest, but just a little bit of a insulation there. That bolt's kind of hindering things. Have her out guiding onto the steering box, hopefully. So I got that kind of rubber strip around like I talked about. It's actually more of a hole than I meant to. Hole could have been a little bit smaller, but before it was too small, I could barely get the column through. And I want to use, I picked up this little bracket. The plan is to put that around the bottom of the column, bolt it to the firewall. Then we got our column bracket that we mocked into place before. And I did actually plan on painting this black as well. But realistically, the turn signal switch, hazard switch, tilt switch, the shifter, as well as bezels and stuff, and bezels around stuff in here are all chrome anyway, so I decided we'd just leave it chrome. Not that big of a deal. I guess before we tighten this officially, we need to figure out how the steering wheel lines up. Of course, we don't have the tires perfectly straight, so I guess it doesn't matter that much, but I don't want to end up mocking it up and have the steering wheel way off, which I guess it's a couple bolts to slide the whole column up and move it, in theory. So scratch that. All right, let's tighten this down. Okay, should be nice and solid. Let's see if we can figure this bracket out. I'm not sure this is even going to work, to be honest. Always cut towards yourself. Here's something funny. You probably should have slid on the column first.
I was just going to say you probably should have put that on first. Because you're going to scratch the paint for sure.
Oh yeah, there's no way in heck Yeah.
So you're taking it back out?
Apparently.
Just to see if it'll work?
Yeah, it'll work. I mean, really, we probably don't even need anything, to be honest. But I don't want that into the column. Moving around. Other options. I'm not 100% sure. My biggest worry about this thing is, as wide as this is, it's going to end up on the angle. So I actually anticipated probably cutting half of this off anyway, and just using 2 bolts instead of 4.
Well, at least those we can take out after you get it on the steering column. Right?
You cut it.
Huh?
Cutting it on the column would be a pain.
No, you can take those nuts out and those slide out, right?
Right. Oh yeah, you mean the actual nuts. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see if we can fish this on now that it's all installed. As I thought, the brackets are too big. Well, they actually might just fit, but I really don't think we need so much. So I think I'm going to cut the top of this off, basically right under the hole on each side. And then I have some 1/4 inch rib nuts, and we'll just put a 1/4 inch bolt on each side. That should be way more than enough to actually hold this. Gotta modify everything. The rubber gasket kind of thing that I put in, the light is right in my eyeballs. I actually made the hole a little bigger than I probably should have. Whatever, this thing's not going to be airtight anyway. I'm not too concerned with it.
I mean,
yeah, we got to get grommets to fill all the big holes and stuff anyway. So I do probably want to get the factory kind of dash like felt piece that goes across there. And then we'll just do carpet kind of tucked under it is the plan. And again, I don't know if we're going to go carpet to here, if we're going to go carpet back to here. That's still undecided. If we're just going to go ahead and go all the way, I don't know. That's down the road. When we go cut these, you're going to get some hardware. You can get the rib nut kit out too. Do all the actual work.
I'll get it all set up while you just cut stuff up into little pieces.
That was a little more work than it probably needed to be, but I would say that's definitely not going anywhere. So what do we do from here? Seats?
Pedals, probably.
Pedals. Well, that's easy enough. All right, slam the pedals in, seat, figure out the throttle pedal, because that's going to move now from where we originally mocked it up, and doors.
Steering wheel.
Steering wheel. All right. So off camera, the video where we were mocking up all the pedals, we put a bend in the brake pedal that put the clutch and brake pedal right next to each other. I basically just did kind of the same bend in the clutch pedal. It does have this little whoop-de-doo at the bottom, but that's just the way it is. Remember, this was actually set up for a square body, not a 59 Chevy pickup. So yeah, it's got a kind of a little funky end like that, but whatever. It is what it is. I believe. So they're all down there. I believe the C10 out there, the clutch pedal kind of kicks over like that too.
Yeah.
Just the way she goes when you're trying to line stuff up. So pedals are all in. That's all good. Haven't tightened up haven't ran the clutch line yet. I'm sure you can't see it from over there, but the clutch pedal has a little twist to it. I'm not sure what happened there. Have to twist it back with a big wrench or something, which is how I bent it in the first place. But from here, I guess we're gonna throw the seat bracket in, throw the seats in for the first time, which is pretty awesome. Put some of the stuff back in the dash and screwed it up. I went to pop this in and it slipped and scratched the crap out of the dash. No big deal. I guess we'll have to touch that up when we touch up some other stuff in here that we talked about previously. So, ready?
Sure.
You want to set that somewhere so you can use your hands? Missed a couple spots on this too. Huh?
I said you got there on this side.
Pretty sure these seats are on the wrong side.
Well, how'd you do that? Yeah, this is driver's side.
Oops. Alright, we switch these around real quick. Alright, seats are all in, obviously. They squeak against the back, that's a little annoying. Because this is a Summit brand column, it uses a 9-hole steering wheel versus your typical 5 or 6. I went with this one, pretty basic, kind of a 3-spoke design. Didn't want anything too flashy. This is 14 or 14 and a half, do you remember?
I don't remember.
It's been a little while. I believe it's 14. The other one I had in the C10, but all these parts came from, was 13. It was a little small. I really like the look of it. It's a one of Cletus McFarlane's. It's red, white, and blue, all that good stuff. I liked it. It was a little small. It felt a little dirty. So went a little bigger, and then we got a horn button. Nice and simple, just a Chevrolet emblem. Now that I'm sitting in here and everything's kind of in place, this column honestly might be a hair short. We went with 28 inch. We mocked it up, the one was 31. But it seems a little far away. I guess we won't really know until we're actually driving it.
Well, if we need a little more distance, we can always just get the deeper dish steering wheel.
True. Well, it's got to be this 9-hole design too. So
Yeah, no, I thought Summit had a taller one
I'm sure they do.
instead of a whole column.
It says you have to use theirs, but I imagine like this piece comes off. So I imagine it says you have to use this one, but I bet other adapters fit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I guess we could pop the adapter off of the other column, see if it slides on here. It's a Flaming River, I believe.
I don't remember. I think it was like Speedway or something, right?
The column was.
Yeah.
The bracket, no, Forever Sharp.
Oh, the wheel? Yeah,
Yeah,
Forever Sharp.
Yeah, the wheel and the adapter.
Yeah.
The wheel is made by MPI. The adapter, I believe, is either a Forever Sharp or Flaming River. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're all kind of the same idea.
Trying to keep track of all the different names of everything.
Yeah.
I know we have a couple Forever Sharp steering wheels and adapters.
Yeah. I believe the dually's a Forever Sharp.
I think you got one, a Forever Sharp for the 74, But you liked the Cletus one better.
Well, that one did have quite a bit of dish to it, I think.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird feeling.
Because I think even the red, white, and blue one's taller than this.
Might be. I don't remember. There we go. Slightly crooked as per usual. There we go. Yeah, it's a little far. It's not bad though. We'll see. Like I said, we won't know until we're actually driving it. But what's that?
Allen wrench. I thought you needed it.
Okay, let's figure out this pedal.
That means I have to put a pedal down there while you figure out what you want, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We skipped ahead a bit. Went ahead and got the doors on, put the accelerator pedal in the same spot it was before. I'm not sure if I'm happy with its location, but this is pretty much what the interior is going to look like. I know it's really dark, obviously, because it's all black. Can you reach it?
No. It's just out of reach.
We got some tinkering stuff to do still. Like I said, there's a little bit of touch up here and there. Unfortunately, I scratched the dash. Steering feels okay. It does feel a little far away, as well as the shifter could actually be quite a bit shorter. I went off of what I've used. Like this is actually the same exact shift lever that's in the C10 and was in my other C10. It could be quite a bit shorter, to be honest. The throttle pedal's a little weird. It seems high, and I think that's just because of the angle of the floor. I'm not sure what to do about that. I have to look into some options. Did have a comment or two about these Amazon pedals being kind of chintzy and they break, so might look into something else, as well as I don't know if it's showing up, but the metal piece that we put into this area, it's actually flexing a little bit. So not only do we need to do something about the pedal, we need to brace it in some way. And I know everything's kind of squeaking because it's shiny paint, but yeah, happy with the steering wheel, happy with the seating location. Everything else is pretty good. Doors still need some adjustment. Just hit the fender. Obviously we don't have panels or latches or glass or any of that stuff, but yeah, turned out pretty good. Just a couple chrome elements, like I said, shifter, kind of the knobs on the column, the screws here, the screws on the kick panels, we did put those in. Some of these bezels, glove box, that kind of stuff. And you're not showing any of that, but
I could see all of it.
you're just shining the light in my eyeballs.
Remember we were talking about touch-up spots?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look to your left of the steering wheel.
Oh. Well, remember when I got done spraying and you went around with a flashlight and said, here's a spot, here's a spot, here's a spot?
And I didn't see that
So
spot.
apparently you missed it too. No big deal. Like I said, we got some other touch-up stuff to do, and we can just go over this with a brush real quick. We can go over the scratch with a brush. Probably might sand that just a hair. But pop this back out, sand that, put a little brush stroke in there, put this back in, scratch it again, that kind of stuff. So, and obviously carpet, we got to figure out. Headliner, we got to figure out. We got to get some visors for it, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's coming along. Gauges is another big thing. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I'm not a big fan of digital gauges. I like analog gauges, and that's kind of a small package. So I don't know. I got to look into what options are out there. And of course, this doesn't have an inch of wiring in it. We still got to do that. The bed's just sitting there. The front end's just sitting there. We have no controlling for the air compressor. We got a ways still, all right?
It's got battery cables.
Sure.
That's some wiring.
Yep. Ignition switch. Did we turn this around? We did.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that too. So the shifter has actually several different locations. Another thing I was curious about is it's kind of like first and second. It's right there. I don't know if you can show this very well.
Ooh.
It has this guy that I could swing around and put backwards, so it moves it that direction. But this plate I could actually turn around and move the shifter basically to here. That might be an option. That might help a little bit. If it's that way and farther forward just a little bit, then second gear I guess would be kind of in this area.
Yeah.
Of course we'd have to cut this out, and whatever we cut out we'd have to move to the back unless we did a giant shifter boot, but no big deal. We'll figure that out. Yeah.
It's another step closer than it was 5 days ago.
It is. It's I'm still not completely sold on the gloss, to be honest. I kind of wish we would have went with satin. If it was all like this, that had a little bit of sheen, but not. Because it's implement paint, I don't know if it kind of shows on camera at all. It really showed when I had the door open. It kind of had a gray tinge to it. Obviously, this has to have glass in it, and I'll probably tint the windows and all that stuff. So I don't know if it'll really show up. I also don't know how this is going to do with fading. That was some of the reviews were saying that the implement paint would fade a little bit over time, but realistically, the only place we would have to worry about is the dash itself and the tops of the doors, being that it's interior. And I think if the windows are tinted, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So, anyway, anything else you want to say?
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. We at that part already? I think we are.
It's been a busy day.
It's been busy everything. So if you followed along this far, if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps a lot. Comments are always awesome. You guys are, for the most part at least, there's a few rare occasions, but you guys are usually very, very positive and respectful. So I enjoy comments. I enjoy replying. And yeah.
I just read them.
What's next? We do have a set of inner and outer cab corners sitting over there. So we got that to do. I got to do metal shopping and so we can build a frame for this bed so we can actually mount that properly. And clear coat. I've got a really, really, really big surprise coming up before we clear coat. Or it's, at least it's a big surprise for me. It might not be for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. Something cool we're going to do. Clear coat, bed mounted, cab corners, wiring, a little more interior stuff. Yeah, it's coming along.
Compressor.
Yeah. Probably part of wiring. But, well, anyway. Been so busy, and I got to work tomorrow, and it's already like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe, like I said. I'm going to quit jabbering on.
You stole my line already. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out, like she said. We'll see you guys next time.